I'm Susie Roberti. Welcome, and let's talk tail waggers. We have a wonderful show today, like always. Lots of information, some wonderful stories. But before we get started, I would like to say thank you to my camera persons. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, DJ. You know, BPTV is all volunteers, and we would like you to come up and learn how to do cameras, go out in the field. There's all kinds of things that we could do, that you could do, and enjoy them. I've been here for 16 years, and I've enjoyed every single solitary one of the years. I'm so excited about my show today because it's really going to be interesting. So now I'm going to say hi, Susie Smith.
Hi, Susie Roberti. How are you?
This is our Pets for Vets lady.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on today again. I enjoy being on your show.
I know you do.
Yeah, we always have a good time.
Yes, we do. And this lady is going to have a party in October.
A dog party.
A dog party in October. And this is so our vets can get their dogs for free.
84 Fitness Center has their third annual dog party coming up, and that's on October 6th. And it's just a nice dog party in the ball fields behind 84 Lumber Company, and all of the proceeds go to our Veterans Fund that we had set up at the Humane Society 2 years ago. So our local veterans don't have to pay adoption fees anymore.
This is wonderful. Now, we have Joey today with a smile of an angel. Oh, you're wonderful. And she's brought a special, special little guy, and his name is Foo-Foo, and we've been thinking about, we could call him Foo, or...
Yeah, we call him Fru, just because
Fru.
He's a little bit tougher than his name.
But he is the sweetest little guy. And him knows, you can get up there, you won't come up and sit up on the lap? I mean, he's a doll baby. So what are we going to talk about today, Joey? What is good to talk about today?
I think we're going to talk about what to consider whenever you're adopting. What are the big things that you need to take into consideration before you come down and get one of these cuties?
That's excellent. So what do we consider?
Well, I think the biggest thing you have to take into consideration is your life, your lifestyle first and foremost, because you're bringing someone, and something really special into your life, so you don't want to have to neglect them, and bring them back. So you really want to make sure that you're going to have the time and energy to focus into bringing these guys in.
And why are you getting this pet? I think that's like one of the really, really important thing is why would you want to bring this little guy or big guy into your life?
Exactly.
What do you want from him?
That's a good point, because if you're just, I don't know how to say it, if you're on the rebound, maybe you've lost someone in your life.
Or you're a dog.
Or
even a dog.
Your best friend. And sometimes, you might just jump in and adopt anyone. And then for a person who's not very active, you probably wouldn't want to get a really high active terrier that needs to walk, so you really have to think about, like you said, your lifestyle and why you are getting
And how many hours do you work? Are you going to be able to pay, is he going to be okay with separation anxiety?
Exactly. And then that leads you into what kind of age of dog or cat, if you're going to get a dog or cat, or even if you want to get a more low maintenance animal, as opposed to a dog or cat. If you want to go, get a fish or something, and that way you still have someone to talk to whenever you come home.
Some responsibility.
I'm game for that. I think that the Lord gave us dogs, cats, fish, all for these different parts of your life.
There's something for there's something for everybody.
For everybody.
Well, Susie and I have been groomers for quite a long time. And now someone like Fru, he'll take minimal, work, but he is going to take a little bit of trimming around his feet and his toe pads, as opposed to a beagle.
It's not like high maintenance stuff.
No. So you have to take that in consideration. I think the grooming aspect, as far as, how much time do you want to spend brushing, or can you afford, you probably wouldn't want to get a Bichon or a big furry Old English.
Anything that has an undercoat that's going to have to be, taken really good care of.
Unless you realize,
that you're used to them.
Yeah.
I had a question in my head and I was going to ask and now it's gone.
Another good thing to consider is size. You know, you really want to consider what, you know, you don't want to go out and get a St. Bernard if you're living in an apartment, you know, or
that's a
Just
good
because
point.
they're great, big, and
because
fuzzy.
they're such big, you know, they take up a lot of space, and you know, but Frew here, he'd be great for an apartment because he can still run around and he can still get his exercise inside, and you know, he can do with a little garden or, you know, little yard that an apartment building might have, as opposed to maybe a more high energy dog, a Doberman or a Boxer or a Pit Bull, you know, those dogs that need a lot of running and have a lot of energy, and they would love just a yard to run in. You know, you want to make sure that you have all that for them as well.
I forgot already. Now, can they come down and visit
Absolutely.
these dogs, you know, several times?
Absolutely.
So that they could find out a little bit about their personality and take them for a walk.
Yes.
You know, this little guy here would walk with you. He's just a joy.
He loves being right next to your feet.
Yeah.
He loves following right next to your feet whenever he walks.
So he wouldn't be anybody that would be pulling you down the road.
No,
you know, and
he's very gentle.
You know what I think a good thing to do? I was talking with a friend of mine, and she mentioned this the other day. If you go to a shelter and you see that the dog is maybe half Cocker Spaniel, half Sheltie, or whatever, you know, we think he might be King Charles Cavalier or
whatever.
Yeah, kind of do a little research on the computer or at the library on those breeds, and then you'll kind of get an idea of the total package, which it might not come out that way anyway, but you have a little bit of an idea.
I think like Border Collies, every dog, like I've said many times, they have been bred by humans to do a job. And then came along, you know, everybody having partying and having party babies. But if it's a Border Collie and you get one, you have to take them out, you know, and they have to do their thing. And same with the Cocker Spaniel, they're bird dogs. You know, you have to take them out and walk that energy, the energy off them. Cats are the same way. If you have a feather on a string and you get that kitty cat, if he's being annoying and running around the house and getting, you know, into trouble, and if you would just take that thing and swing it for 15 minutes and that cat would chase that, it takes that need and calms them down.
And then they won't be displacing that energy anywhere else.
And getting into trouble.
Yeah, that's a good
That really
point.
helps them to calm down and behave. And you focus their energy on something that they love to do and that they're excited about and that's what they were made to do, then you will have an amazing dog.
And this little guy here, he is just a joy.
He is.
And you just find him. They just find him along the...
Yeah, I think he came in as a stray. I'm not 100% positive. But either way, he came in. He's with us now, so we got to get him back out to a good place.
Yeah, and hopefully he's not there too long. I think after people see him, though, he's really adorable.
He really is. He's a good boy.
I wouldn't want to turn people away from like big hairy dogs, though, because a lot of people love the big hairy dogs. It's just that you have to remember that there are certain things that you have to take care of. Their toe pads and some grooming, but it's really no big deal. You know, every couple months you can address that with a groomer if you do end up getting someone like that.
If you learn how to comb them correctly, even the short-haired dogs need combed, I think, as much, if not more, than the long-haired dogs, because they have an undercoating, and that's what comes out and gets everywhere. But if you learn how to comb them correctly, then you can get that out, and they don't shed as much.
I combed a beagle just yesterday. Now this is a beagle.
People don't believe this. The beagle shed.
But I had a beagle this size, and then I had hair this size right beside the beagle. It was just so much
and
hair.
That down coat that protects them from being outside.
Right.
And this little guy here, he's pretty much. I don't really think that he's a big shedder. If you would.
He's sitting on my lap, and I don't have much.
If you would give him combing, but he's a dear little baby.
He is. Yeah, and that's really important, especially you know, within these past couple months, the grooming and all that stuff is really important. And you want to make sure whenever you are going to get a dog, and especially if you get a puppy, You know, you want to educate yourself because with puppies, you're not sure what you're going to get, you
Yeah.
know. So you want to
It's
make sure that
surprise.
you might see this cute little fluffy dog that you think is just going to have medium hair, and he grows up to be, you know, a great big fur ball.
Yeah.
So you really want to be prepared, and that's one of the things you want to consider when getting a younger dog is what they're going to become. You know, they're not going to say that Fru here, you know, he's what you see is what you get, huh?
He's just sitting there right beside you.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh boy.
A lot of times I've talked with people over the years being a groomer about the long hair. They think that the long hair protects the animals from, you know, because they have their natural coat, it protects them from the heat and from the cold.
Sunburn.
But you don't have to shave them down. If you keep them combed out, the air gets through the hair, and that's the secret, is to not have them, you know, covered with mats. So.
But if you do keep your dog, that's one thing I forgot when I did my summer rant, was sunburn, and dogs do. And kitty
Absolutely.
cats do get sunburn.
Absolutely.
And if you get them groomed and you take them out walking and they're short, they will get sunburn in a matter.
I'm glad you brought that
yeah.
up, because I have seen sunburned dogs.
Yeah, and it's very, very, very sad.
And you know how miserable
We got
that
3
is.
minutes.
3 minutes.
What else do you want us to hear?
Well, I think what you said earlier, you said to think about it before you go to the shelter.
Right. That's the biggest
Right.
thing is
Yeah.
educate yourself.
Educate yourself.
You really want to be educated on
Ask a lot of questions. Come down and walk them and get to be friends with them.
We have fantastic staff in our kennel at the
You
Humane
really
Society
do.
who are very
That's really do.
knowledgeable. And if you come in and you see a dog who, you know, just gives you that look that you walk in and you see them and they pick you, then our staff will take them out and they'll walk with you and the dog, and they'll tell you about their breed or what we think their breed is at least, and their temperament. And you know, as long as you're honest about your lifestyle and the time and energy that you have, then you know you'll get a good match at our shelter.
You'll get a good
You will
match.
definitely find a perfect dog.
Well, I'm going to say thank you one
Well,
million
thank
times for coming.
No problem. We enjoyed it.
I know, but you
Halfway.
drive all the way up from the Washington Area Humane Society, and truly, I really, the tail waggers, thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we're so happy. I'm really happy doing the series for you guys, so that everybody gets to know how wonderful of a place it is, and that you're welcome to go down and volunteer if you would like to come
Absolutely.
down and volunteer.
Absolutely.
So I would like to say thank you, my foo-foo baby.
Hey, you want to say thanks?
Yeah,
I
he
think
is.
he'll be adopted
I
real
think
soon.
he'll get a
Yeah.
good home because he's very quiet and peaceful.
He's
Yeah.
perfect.
He's
Well,
a laid-back guy.
Thank both of you, and
No,
I'll
thank you.
be
We thank
seeing you
you.
next time.
Absolutely.
Nice seeing
Thank
you,
you.
Joey.
You
Okay, I'll see
too.
you next time. Bye, Fru.
Bye, Fru.
He's so adorable.
Him's a cutie. Well, what'd you think of Joey?
Well, I always enjoy seeing Joey, but that little guy, that Frou-Frou, is perfect.
He just will fit in anywhere. He's just a little, he's a good old dog.
I think the first person that sees him on this show is going to run to the Humane Society because he's adorable.
And our houses are filled. If
Yeah.
we, one more, but you just can't get one more.
I know.
That he is truly an exception to the rule type.
He really
guy.
is.
And he just goes to everybody. It's like, hi, and
He's just waiting for someone.
and he walks so nice with
He
her.
does.
So if you need somebody for a leash, to walk nice with you, an older person, he's a lover.
Well, I'm going to spread the word about him later today because he's just, I would say anybody that's interested in him, go down to the Humane Society immediately.
Because he's not going to last
He's
long.
not going to be there
I don't
long.
think so.
Yeah, I sure hope not.
Yeah, and we have a dog named Bella. And these people are truly devastated that he or she got away. and it is in Bethel, correct?
She lives in Bethel, and my friend Peggy sent me, my computer crashed the other day, or I would have had the poster. But she got away, I'd say it's been over a couple months now, and there's been a lot of sightings, and she lives right here in Bethel, and we couldn't get, BPTV couldn't get the poster printed either, but she is a black lab mix, and she has a splash of white on her chest, and they said that's the only white she has. And she's pretty young. I think she's only about a year old, and she's scared.
Yeah.
The phone number is 412-445-1316 if you see her.
And we have a devastated family.
Oh, and they have children, and everybody is just frantic. There's posters everywhere through Bethel Park and all around the area, but
and every time the phone rings, you think that's going to be it, and and it's not. And if you did find her and you love her very much, and she's fitting into your life, just remember that there are children and a family that's just devastated.
They are
Just devastated, and would like her to please.
Yeah, and she, I don't have the picture, but she just looks like a black lab mix. She's she's all black except for that splash, so she's really kind of unique when you look at her, and her ears go out a little bit and down.
Because they haven't had too many sightings recently, so
No.
I would imagine that maybe somebody found her, but...
They were seeing her all the time for, I think, a month, and then about 3 weeks now, nobody has
I
sighted
think maybe
her.
somebody, she lost weight and stuff, maybe she just went to somebody.
So if you're watching this show and you've seen a little black lab mix with a white splash on her chest, her name's Bella, and she likes hot dogs, and she loves people, so if you could coax her, or like Susie said, if you do have her, please call the number 412-445-1316.
But they're devastated.
They're devastated. They're
Really?
Yeah, their
Really,
heart's
really
broken.
sad.
I know how I would be if any of my animals got away.
And today we're going to spend some time on the dog party.
Oh, I'm so excited about the dog party. 84 Fitness Center, that's where I teach group fitness. We have an annual dog party. This is our 3rd year, and I brought a huge banner today for the show. It turned out really nice.
It is precious.
We have, it's a social event for dogs and their people, and we have it behind 84 Lumber Company in 84, and we have a big pavilion and a park, so we just spend the day. It's a social event for dogs and their people.
And this is what, the 3rd year now?
It's the 3rd year, and this year it's on October 6th.
October the 6th.
Yep, on a Saturday, and all of the money that we make at the party goes into the Veterans Fund that we had set up at the Washington Area Humane Society. So
and that is a separate fund.
it can't be used for anything else.
But
Yeah, nothing but giving these dogs to our veterans at no charge. And the dogs are, and cats, they're up to date on shots. They're spayed, neutered, defleed, socialized like you saw Frou Frou, and just waiting. They're waiting for homes, and I know that there are veterans out there that need, or are looking for
sure they
a pet,
are.
and
Sure they are.
just go down to the Washington Area Humane Society. We have everything down there. Yeah.
Yeah,
From
believe me.
from little Frou Frou to big
Yes.
shaggy old English dogs, and everything in between.
This is really an undertaking that you've taken. I mean, really and truly, I'm very, very proud of you, and I'm very proud to know you. I really am.
Well, I have to. You're talking to a mirror because I feel the same way. I'm so thankful that you allow me to come on here and continue to talk about the Pets for U.S. Vets, and I do talk a lot. I've got 3 blogs going. I'm on Peter's Patch now, and Canonsburg Patch invited me to blog on there, so you can check that. I also have my blog listed at the end of the show, dogparty84.blogspot.com, which has all of our TV shows on. And
well, see, this is a true heart, and you are a true heart for this. You truly are, and it really comes out in your personality. How
thank you.
It does. How much you truly believe in this.
Oh, I believe in this. This is my life mission, and I'm not going to lie about it and say that I don't get tired sometimes, and I don't get tired. You know, sometimes I do get tired of talking to people and begging for money.
But isn't it funny how it always comes out in him?
Well, you know, I felt that way yesterday. I thought, is anybody listening? And then I was at Mingo State Park, or Mingo County Park. And this was meant to be, I ran into a volunteer from the Humane Society. Her name's Pat Clark. And I have to say, Pat Clark is one of the best volunteers there. She's been there for 3 years, and I want to bring her on the show. And she drives all the way from Pleasant Hills 2 to 3 times a week, takes dogs, puts them in her own car, and walks them through Mingo so that they can feel their feet in the creek. But I needed to see her yesterday because I was feeling, is anybody listening? And I'm on the computer till 2 in the morning, and I'm just, you know, trying to get it out there. And she had this dog with her named Surf. And Surf is 11 years old and was just brought back to the shelter. I choke up thinking about her because I looked in her eyes yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, sweetie. Just take a breath.
Her owners got sick and had to take her back to the shelter. She was adopted at 6 years old, and now at 11, she's back at the shelter.
Oh, my.
And
so she is keepable.
So
because the people had her for many years. Yeah. So if she does get another home,
she's perfect. And I went over and I hugged her, but I made the mistake of making eye contact with her. Not the mistake, but when I did make eye contact with her, it just went straight to my heart. And I thought, this is why you're doing the dog party.
Isn't that amazing? He always sends us an angel.
Just when I felt.
And that was your angel.
And she was. And that just brought it home to me. That's why I spend, you know, all of my time trying to just raise money so that our local veterans, because I'm from a veteran family, I respect our veterans. We would not be safe if it weren't for them. And
that's right.
And you come from a veteran family.
That's right.
But running into her, Pat, and Surf yesterday just brought the reason back. Why?
Yeah, it just makes you take a great big deep breath and say, okay.
Now I've got the energy again, so I'm ready to, you know, just.
And you know, it's hard. I'm not bragging, but I've been doing my show for 16 years.
Well, that is something to brag about.
Well, sometimes I get like that, you know, that I'll think, gee, you know, am I helping a family get a pet? Am I helping someone out there begin to like animals, you know, like a dog or a cat, or understand that they do have feelings? Just help them, you know, to look at a dog and not go, oh, it's just a dog, or walk past it if it was injured or whatever. And, you know, I don't see what goes on out there. I just have to have, you know, hope that I am helping people. But then all of a sudden someone will walk up behind me, you know, and say, you know, Susie, you got me through a bad time when we had to put my dog down and you had a show.
Isn't it amazing?
That people came on and explained when, you know, when you should know. And basically it's you and it's your heart, you know, that says goodbye. And it was so easy. It wasn't, you know, we cried and everything, but we thank you very much because it did help us get through that. And I walked out of there, I was like that high off the ground.
That's exactly how I felt yesterday when I ran into Pat and Surf down at the park. Because it puts it all back into perspective. Like a lot of times we're just sitting here at a table and we're talking and we're trying to get the word out. And people like you and I are real emotional about what we do and overly emotional sometimes. But if we didn't have that feeling inside, we wouldn't be able to move forward and and get other people involved. And that's what we need.
And we don't fight the fact that we were put here to do this. You know, if I was put here to go and help the homeless, which I believe me, I do, but then I would be doing that, you know, but for some reason the Lord said, this is what you're going to do, and you're going to walk into BPTV, and they're going to say, oh, would you like to do a pet show? And, you know, when I said to the Lord, you give me the shows, I'll do them, and it's 16 years later, and it's because this is where I'm supposed to be, and this is where you're supposed to be. And now this lovely lady is doing her Commit to Be Fit show.
Well,
I'm so proud of her.
I never in my life had any desire to do a TV show. And for some reason, I just end up here. I'm on your show, and then all of a sudden, you say, do I want to do my own fitness show? And I've been involved in fitness for 30 years. But it's all tying in together, and if you look at it, you can see the big picture. Because it helps us, it's another way to get the word out, to tell people, and to bring good people like Joey and Kelly and Logan and Andy, all the people that come to this show. You know, we get to bring good people together and
Good news.
good news. I'm sick of hearing the bad news. I want to hear good news.
Good news. And you do your show, and you help us older ladies realize that, hey, it's okay if you don't do the insane thing on TV or that. If you try this, maybe you'll like it. If you try that, maybe you'll like it. And that's what you're committed to be fit. And you truly, in that show, really let everyone know that you're very sincere about that too. And
I really care about it.
We're very proud and happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here. I just feel like
You're home.
kind of like Dorothy on The Wizard of Oz. I just kind of got, spun and just thrown into BPTV.
Yeah, but if you
But
thought
it's-
about it, you wouldn't have done it.
No, if I thought too much, I probably wouldn't have because I'm a chicken. But but it gives me a way to get the word out about 84 Fitness Center's program at the Humane Society. And the thing about the program, it's such a basic concept. It's veterans go to the Humane Society and adopt at no charge. And that's all it is. It's just a big dog party. We raise money,
And guess what?
and that's it.
It's time
time
to
to
say
go.
goodbye.
It always is
I
as
know.
soon as we
It
get talking.
just goes
But
so fast. I do want to thank all of
Thank
you
you.
out there. Everything for Susie's is working out well. We still need sheets. We still need towels. We still need food. We still need money. We need all these wonderful things, right, for the Washington Area Humane Society or any other Humane Society. But this just happens to be the one that we're closest in our heart to. Like always, I want to say thank you for your support. I love you all with the bottom, deepest love from my heart. I really do. And most of all, thanks from all the tail waggers. Thank you, Susie.
thank you, Suze.